You are simply a complex biological machine, experiencing a script that was written billions of years before you existed. You are a passenger on a train, convincing yourself that you are steering the tracks. For over a century, this terrifying clockwork universe dominated our understanding of reality. We were trapped in the cosmic machinery. But then, in the 1920s, everything broke. We developed the technology to peer deep into the atomic structure of reality. We found the billiard balls. We found the electrons, the protons, the quarks. But they were not acting like billiard balls at all. In fact, they were not acting like physical objects as we understood them. They were behaving in ways that defied all logic, all reason, and all classical mechanics. We entered the quantum realm. Even Albert Einstein, one of the greatest minds to ever exist, was deeply disturbed by the implications of the quantum rebellion. He famously declared, "God does not play dice with the universe." He believed that the uncertainty of quantum mechanics was just an illusion. He believed that the variables were hidden from us, but that the universe, underneath it all, was still deterministic. He wanted the demon to be real, because a universe ruled by strict cause and effect makes sense. A universe ruled by random chance is terrifying. But Einstein, in this rare instance, was wrong. The dice are rolled constantly, in every atom, in every star, in every empty void of space. In 1927, a physicist named Werner Heisenberg dealt the fatal blow to Laplace's demon. He introduced the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Heisenberg proved, mathematically and observationally, that it is fundamentally impossible to know both the exact position and the exact momentum of a particle at the same time. This is not a limitation of our measuring instruments. It is a fundamental property of the universe itself. If you zoom in on an electron and pin down exactly where it is, you lose all information about where it is going and how fast it is moving. If you measure how fast it is moving, its exact location smears out into a cloud of probability. You cannot know both. The universe refuses to be fully known. Consider quantum entanglement, a phenomenon Einstein disparagingly called spooky action at a distance. When two particles become entangled, their states are inexplicably linked. If you measure one particle, you instantly know the state of the other, even if they are on opposite sides of the observable universe. This transfer of state information happens faster than the speed of light, defying classical relativity. How does this factor into determinism? If the demon tries to measure one particle to calculate the future, the very act of observation forces the entangled partner light years away to snap into a definitive state, altering the cosmic math instantly. The demon's attempt to observe reality actively changes reality. The observer is not separate from the system. The observer is entangled within it. You cannot stand outside the universe to calculate it, because to exist and measure is to participate in the chaos. And just like that, the demon was blinded. If you cannot know the exact starting conditions of the universe, you cannot predict the next state. You cannot calculate the future. The cosmic pool table is not filled with solid spheres. It is filled with ghostly waves of probability that only snap into reality the moment they are observed. At the most fundamental level of reality, the universe is not deterministic. It is inherently uncertain. It is fuzzy. It is unpredictable. But even if we ignore the bizarre quantum realm, even if we zoom back out to the macroscopic world of apples and planets and human beings, the demon faces another insurmountable problem: chaos theory. In the 1960s, a meteorologist named Edward Lorenz was running computer simulations of weather patterns. He discovered something terrifying. If he changed a starting variable by an infinitesimally small amount, less than 1 in 1,000, the long-term weather prediction did not just change a little bit, it changed completely. The entire system descended into chaos. This became known as the butterfly effect. The idea that a butterfly flapping its wings in Brazil could set off a cascade of atmospheric changes that eventually causes a tornado in Texas. Our universe is composed of highly sensitive, non-linear dynamic systems. This means that to predict the future perfectly, the demon's knowledge cannot just be highly accurate, it must be infinitely perfect. Because an error in measurement the size of a single electron at the edge of the observable universe would eventually cascade, compound, and ripple outward until the entire prediction of the future was completely wrong. Absolute perfection is physically impossible. Therefore, absolute prediction is physically impossible. Imagine placing a single grain of sand at the very peak of a perfectly symmetrical mountain. Which side will it roll down? In a perfect mathematical model, it sits in perfect equilibrium. But in reality, the gravitational pull of a passing comet millions of miles away, or the microscopic vibration of an earthworm in the soil miles below, will tip it in one direction. That is chaos. It is the extreme sensitivity to initial conditions. For Laplace's demon to accurately predict the future of the universe, it would need to process so much information that the demon itself would have to be larger than the universe it is trying to calculate. The machine breaks down under the weight of its own data. And what if the universe is doing something even stranger? In 1957, physicist Hugh Everett proposed the many-worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. What if the universe doesn't decide what happens next? What if, every time a quantum particle is forced to choose a path, or every time you make a decision, reality splits? What if the universe fractures into multiple branching realities, accommodating every single possible outcome? In one timeline, you dropped the glass. In another, you caught it just in time. The demon couldn't predict the future because there is no single future to predict. There is an infinite, exploding fractal of realities being created every single microsecond. We are not living in a clockwork cage. The gears are not fixed. The dominoes are not locked. The universe is a boiling, chaotic, fundamentally uncertain place. We are adrift in a sea of probability, bound by rules that rewrite themselves the deeper we look. You are holding a glass of water. It slips. It falls. It hits the floor. It shatters into 100 jagged pieces. Time moves strictly forward. You cannot unshatter the glass. But as you stare at the water soaking into the floorboards, you finally understand. The fact that the glass cannot be unshattered is not a prison. It is your freedom. The future hasn't been calculated. The universe doesn't know what is going to happen next. It is waiting to find out. This thought experiment is just the beginning. At Atomsophy, our mission is to unravel the most complex mysteries of existence. We tackle the unanswered questions about our cosmic origins, explore deep philosophical hypotheses, and analyze how AI and future technologies will redefine what it means to be human. To join us on this journey of discovery, please subscribe to the channel. Stay curious, and we will see you in the next video.